Now, why are we here? Well, you ever felt like you're always the target when something goes wrong with your team's communication devices? It's not working. It's too slow. Sound familiar? Well, we're going to help you turn that around today. In this session on Webex Analytics, we're going to help you obtain the insights and tools to not only solve these issues, but help to prevent them. With Webex Analytics, you can be the hero, the one that keeps everything running smoothly, ensuring that your collaboration systems are not just functional, but exceptional. Instead of being the one they grumble about, Webex Analytics, the tools that it has, can help you shine as the proactive leader that your team praises and appreciates. As a collaboration administrator, we know how it is. When something's not working, we need to be able to get our hands on information so that we can solve the issue. And Webex Analytics absolutely helps us do that. All right. Our goal, our agenda today is to help you be your technical best. Myself, I'm a collaboration administrator, just like you. I've been working on Cisco collaboration for, I don't even remember how long. I mean, it's been over a decade, and it started out with phones, plugging into routers and gateways, and then you had IP phones, which are computers. I don't know why we call them phones, but we did. They're computers. They speak TCP/IP. Then it became applications, video. I mean, right now we're collaborating, talking about collaboration. And so there's a lot of information, a lot of different places using traditional tools. Like if I'm working with Unified Communications Manager and I've got endpoints, sometimes it's really hard. I got to pull debugs off of a gateway, or I got to get some information about a cube or a SIP trunk. You got to go different sources. Well, with Webex and analytics especially, all that information is in one place, and it is absolutely amazing. I mean, when I saw what I'm going to show you today, as a collaborations administrator, I just couldn't believe that we had access to these type of tools. So I'm excited to show you about it. Our agenda is, our specifics, is going to be to navigate the Webex Control Hub, and think of the Control Hub as your high-tech command center. From one spot, you can steer the ship of your entire communications infrastructure. Then we're going to dive into Webex Analytics. This is like having a crystal ball. It's about getting the foresight, the information to anticipate issues before they become headaches. Then we're going to show you how to monitor in real time with Webex. This is your secret weapon against the "it's not working" blues. Then we'll take a look at tailoring dashboards so that you can have instant access to insight. By making your own dashboards, you can set up your command center that's uniquely yours so that you can spotlight the metrics that matter most to your daily operations. And then we're going to show you how to utilize troubleshooting and reporting. You'll feel like a detective solving mysteries before they baffle everyone else. You'll not only know what went wrong, but you'll also have detailed reports to show how you fixed it. Then we'll wrap it up with analytics in UC connected deployments. So if you're using on-site Call Manager or Cisco Unified Communications Manager, which is a mouthful, so I like to say Call Manager, but if you're using on-site CUCM, you can still connect it to Webex Control Hub and then take advantage of the analytical capabilities. So it will give on-premise deployments capability some of the same capabilities. And this is great not only for your on-prem, but if you're thinking of migrating to Webex Control Hub, this gets you a head start. Speaking of which, Carol, take it away.
Hi, thank you, John. Welcome, everybody. I'm Carol from the marketing team here at Sunset Learning. I hope you guys have a good event.
All right. Do you want to drop in some poll question? Did you want to do that now? Oh, there they are. All right, we'll give you some time, if you wouldn't mind, to please take a look at the poll questions that Carol has put in. And then, please, I like to do introductions before any class, because I always want to know. The more I know, the more helpful I feel I can be. So I will let you tell me, Carol, when you are done. Take your time. Just let me know. All right, so yeah, are you using WebEx? Are you currently using it? Are you thinking about using it? Are you evaluating it? Are you giving it a try? I heard recently that Cisco said up to 50% of their customers are going to be migrating to WebEx this year. Now,
Thank you, John. You can start.
all right, great. Thank you. All right, thank you everyone for participating. Now, speaking of which, if you're going to access Webex Control Hub, you're going to do that from a browser. We're going to go to admin.webex.com. And that is what I'm going to do for pretty much the remainder of this session. So allow me to get situated here and we'll get started. Okay, so Webex Control Hub, once you sign in, once you log in with WebEx, you have what you see here, and I want to go through and just give you an overview. I just want to give you an overview of what this is, what it does, how it works, and why I think it's so useful, so amazing. So over here, if we take a look on the left-hand side, we've got our menu that we're going to drop through, beginning with overview. So the overview page gives us a snapshot. Just from the login overview page, I can see, thanks for the pop-ups, I can see the amount of devices that are connected, total devices. I can see devices that have issues. I can see devices that have issues. So right off the bat, I can go take a look at what devices are having problems and investigate what those problems are. Now, we'll come back to that, but I want to stick with the overview page. It's going to show us how many users we have, how many devices, whether users are verified, active, inactive. We have quick links, which gives us helpful information. And then we also have our status. Now, status used to be here, but now status is in the upper right-hand corner. So I'm going to go there, pull up the status, and it will give me status of both our WebEx services, which we would expect that our services are in good shape. So we can see the different services. And then we can also see hybrid. And again, all operational is what we would expect. Hybrid is where we have some on-prem, traditional unified communications manager, Unity connection, some sort of on-site collaboration. And then you're also using some cloud-based collaboration. All right, so back to the overview. The first stop. Now, from there, we're going to drop down and take a look. We'll come back to alerts. We'll come back to it. We can create alerts once we take a look at what's inside of Control Hub. Then we'll come back and see how we can create our own custom alerts. All right, next, it's actually quite simple. When you look at it, it's essentially broken down in just a few categories. You have monitoring, management, and services. Monitoring, management, and then services. So it's a real simple interface, GUI. And before we start going through, I want to just, again, give you the overview. Analytics, this is where we're going to spend the bulk of our time. There's a lot of information here in analytics. But this is where you're going to get your information on all of the other users, devices, services, apps. It's all here. It's all here. And so we're going to be able to take a look at device usage, call legs. More to come on analytics, but I want to point out that we can take a look at one site, two sites, all sites. So we can choose which site do we want to pull information from, and then also from what time range. From what time range. So not only can you figure out what's going on now, but you can also figure out what went on months ago. And recently I worked on Cisco's DNA Center. And the reason I mention that is because they have that's for managing routers and switches, right, in your network. And they collect so much information, and it's all about analytics and being able to take all that data. And then if you were to get into some other Cisco technology like Intersight for data center, again, an enormous amount of information. And that's our challenge. As day-to-day administrators, we have so much information out there, and people expect us to have a handle on it. It won't let me. I can't do it. It's slow. What are they even talking about? That's why this is so valuable, because it gives us the ability to see not only what's happening now, but any time range. So we're going to come back. I want to walk you through all of this. But before we do that, let's continue with our overview of Webex Control Hub. Troubleshooting, we can go in and search for devices that are having a problem by their MAC address or device name. We can troubleshoot live meetings. Take a look at live meetings that are going on and see how many meetings, where those meetings are located. We can examine performance for both audio and video, packet loss, latency. We can drop down and take a look at those meetings and see what is the quality. Is it good, bad? How long has the meeting been going on? Who are in the meeting? Click on it. That's the other thing. Just about everything in here is clickable. If you click on it, it usually takes you to another level, another layer. So if we click on the meeting, we've got a participant. And what I want to point out about this over here on the right-hand side, not only can you see the graphs and charts, but on the right-hand side, you're going to be able to see, okay, the user, the meeting number, the date, the time, audio, are they using video, recording, screen types. Let's see if we can get a handle. Let's go back. Sometimes we can see if we click on. What I'm using is not a production, just to give you a heads up. It's not a production Webex Control Hub. It's a tool. It's a toolbox. It's meant for people Cisco people, to log in, use it to do exactly what we're doing today. Take a look at it. So it's simulating a massive WebEx deployment, thousands and thousands of users and devices and things that are happening. So these are not real, actual meetings. But we could take a look at information that's going on for the participant, audio, video, sharing, if there were sharing. Again, we want to see their quality. We take a look, we can examine audio quality, video. For each user, CPU usage. How much CPU usage are they having on their device? How much is WebEx? How much is the WebEx app taking? Memory usage. These are users who are in a meeting. All right, so troubleshooting. Status, depending on what it is we're looking at, we can examine network performance. If you're using video mesh, which is it's like a hybrid video system. Video mesh is where instead of every device in your organization connecting to the cloud to have videos, they would be connecting to on-premise WebEx mesh servers, who would then cascade to the cloud. So it's a hybrid of on-prem and cloud-based video service. Admin activities has moved, and it will show us in the security tab here. It'll take us and show us. We can look at administrative, any logs or what's going on with admin, who's logged into what, roles updated, changes, who did what, and then also you can search, you can change categories. So if you're looking for information on certain administrators that have made changes at a location or site, and you can also click authentication and see if there's been failures, successes for any authentication issues. All right, going back, troubleshooting. Connected UC. Connected UC is you have on-prem Unified Communications Manager, and you can connect your on-prem cluster to WebEx Cloud. You do that or WebEx Control Hub. In WebEx Control Hub, you will add the connected UC device, and then on Call Manager, you're going to install COP files, and that will help it communicate with WebEx Control Hub. They'll communicate with each other, and then we can use Control Hub to troubleshoot, to search, to filter if there were any troubleshooting issues being reported, logs. All right, and now that's troubleshooting. Let's continue. Reports. This is amazing. The amount of reports that you can use for just built-in usage. Oh, a meeting telephony report. Okay. All right. Generate a report. You can customize your template so that you can create your own report. Oh, okay. What kind of report do you want? Well, I want a report on meetings telephony. Okay. Give it a name, give it a description. What columns, what information do you want in your report so that you can understand exactly what's happening with this event? Oh, okay. So we have reports. You can schedule when reports run, etc. Users. All of our users are here under management. Deleted users, external users. Now, let's take a look at one of our users. You click on an end user, and we can see their basic information, what licenses they have, what capabilities they have, when they were created, and then look at all of the information. Okay, you got their profile, general. We can do administration, messaging, What capabilities? Meetings. Are they able to use AI-generated summaries for recordings? Like this meeting we're having, AI can take that, record it, and then generate bullet points. All right, here are the top 5 things that John talked about. Here's how it affects you. Is this user able to do that? Okay, so we can see that just on each user, we have an enormous amount of capability in one place, in one spot, as you manage your users. Meetings, can they have inside, outside? Can they host meetings? Are they allowed breakout sessions? What tools are they allowed to use in their meetings? All of this, again, in one place, one spot. For telephony, for calling, for chat, for messaging. Calling, numbers, messaging, any restrictions, whether they're using hybrid services. Hybrid also is taking Webex and using connectors. Connectors are software that lets Webex Control Hub talk to things like Active Directory, Microsoft, synchronize users, or talk to things like your 365. So it can communicate with these external sources for calendars, for directories. And so that's also part of hybrid. What devices does the user have? Do you need to add devices? And then vidcast, what type of capabilities are they allowed? Per user. Then you have also groups, which you can put users into groups so that you can implement policy to groups. Something that I also like about this is that there's so much and you're like, wow, what's this? What's that? Well, there's usually an explanation to be had. I'll show you as we go through. Locations. Now, again, locations are used in a lot of Cisco programs. If you've worked with any other web-based program like DNA Center, you have to build locations. You have to build a site, give it an address, put in a map. Where are your infrastructure located? And so you will add locations. And then from there, we can use Webex Control Hub, figure out where it is, how many devices, how many users, workspaces are at this location. See, in Webex, you're either licensed as a user or you're licensed as a workspace. Think of a workspace like a shared space where you have devices. And so you're going to take a look how many workspaces, users, devices are located at per locations. And then floors, calling. Now, workspaces, again, you're either going to be licensed as a user or a workspace. So we can take a look at individual workspaces. What devices are they using? Let's go find a meeting one, since these are all simulators. We'll select this one. So here's a workspace. We have the device that's located, the address that's used to reach the workspace, the meetings, for the address for hosting it, whether they're integrated with Office, the location, and then you'll have a picture. Let's take a look under real-time metrics. You can see a picture of the location. Now, why is that valuable? Think of having to troubleshoot and you want to know, well, what kind of device? Where is it located? What's it look like in the room? Having an accurate picture can be very helpful. And then also, since these workspaces are supposed to be utilized, and we can take a look at, are they being used? And I do believe that you can see, environmental metrics. You can see the temperature and the humidity. Hey, this room isn't being used very much. Oh yeah? Well, what's the temperature? Oh, it's 67 degrees. It's too cold. Who would want to go into a workspace if it's too cold? Maybe we need to turn the temperature up. Yeah, you can get that type of information from Control Hub. We can see whether it's being utilized. Again, this is a simulator, but it's showing you when it's been booked, how often it's been used, by who, and we can change the time range. Environment metrics. Temperature, sound, how does the sound reverberate? What's the ambient noise estimation? And something I wanted to point out is if you're unsure of what something is, you see the exclamation over there? It gives you an overview. Sorry. It gives you an overview, an explanation. Oh, well, the ambient noise level is based on noise estimation in the stationary noise reduction algorithm. Yeah, that's part of the device acoustic echo canceller. Yeah, okay. No, it can be very helpful. And so this will show us, gives us an idea, temperature, air quality, humidity, etc. for our locations. For our devices, these are the devices that are added to WebEx: phones, endpoints, video units, headsets. It's all there. Room kits. Click on a device, you get the overview and any alerts. You can create rules so that you can be alerted if something happens with this device. We can create a type of alert. Give it a title, search for any of these, if any of these events. And it can be added, so you can be alerted. You can be alerted, and it will send you an email. It'll email you when this event occurs. Imagine that. There's got to be something you want to know about with the device. Or webhook. Now, webhook is basically, instead of, webhook allows this to just communicate with apps, essentially. You can communicate with apps. So we can create alerts for just about anything. See, because all this stuff that's happening in your collaboration network with devices, users, it's all data, and that data can be kept, used, presented. So we have that capability under our devices. Now, the rest of this that I really wanted to show you. Migration. When you get ready to move to Webex Control Hub, you can come here and it will help you do that. Oh, we got to take our physical phones that we're using with Unified Communications Manager, and now we want them to migrate to WebEx. So this will help you get the firmware for each of your 8845 Cisco phones that you can use to migrate to WebEx. Okay. And then other policy here. Now, we could spend hours on this, obviously. So now that we've taken a look at some of the capabilities with users, devices, location, workspaces, reports, troubleshooting, let's go back to analytics, because this is only an hour session. And so I want to give you an overview of what Control Hub is, and then spend a little bit of time showing you this and how you can use this. Analytics. Okay, so when you first come in, you have a dashboard. You jump into analytics, and and not only do you have a dashboard, but you can change this. You can change this dashboard. You can take any meeting or any chart that you see, change how it's viewed, change whether or not you want to see it weekly, monthly, change the time range, how it's viewed, okay? And how are things performing? How many users have a good voice over IP? What percentage of users are what call leg percentages? Okay. Now, active users, total call legs. On any of these, let's go back to dashboards, because I'll just show you since we're here. So you have this dashboard. And you're like, yeah, that's cool, but that's not what I want to know. Okay, well, what do you want to know? You can make your own dashboard. Edit it. Give it a name. Demo dash. Change your section. And whatever you're interested in. Okay. Now, change, and then you can add widgets. You could add widgets. You have your own widgets. What metrics do you want? If you are interested in, depending on, this may or may not be, but you can create your own widgets. Okay. add them to your board, or as you go through, I'll show you, as you take a look, you can add other, you can customize your own dashboard. So, okay, here we have the summary. Then you go to meetings, and now you're looking at what's going on in meetings. All right, well, total meetings, meetings by devices or activity, by minutes. Scroll down to the bottom, you have the top 10 meetings by minutes, top 10 meetings by video participants. So we can see who's using what. Again, you can always change the sites. You can always change the time range. All right. Not only do you have engagement, but you have participants. How are they joining meetings? Are they using WebRTC? Are they using devices, on-prem, apps, web pages? What are they using? Roles, attendees, hosts. Where are they joining from? Why aren't my users in Italy more engaged? What do we got to do? You can see that in one. Now, a lot of these, as you can see, if I want to know participant, I can pin to dashboard. And since I created a custom dashboard, then I can just say, yep, I want it to be the demo dash. So not only can you change, or you can add anything you want to your own dash. And then you can move the windows around as needed. Okay, VoIP quality for meetings. So you can see quality, see if anyone's having an issue. Now, okay, so I've got, it looks like a percentage of my users are having poor quality. If I select it and then click apply, all my charts change. And now I'm looking at information on who is having problems. So these charts will change based on your selection. We're filtering for poor VoIP quality. Internal or external? What type of connection? Wi-Fi? What type of platform? Where in the world? Where in the world? So it not only gives us a chance to see. Again, if you click on them, you can apply and it will filter. So now I'm filtering 12 users that are having a poor quality using Windows. So you can always drill down deeper. And that's another key component I want you to be aware of. Video quality. So you have video quality, same, right? You got VoIP, audio, and video. We can drill down and to see who's having issues with video quality. Join meeting time, average join meeting time. Status, users, platform, devices, where are they joining? It's all about information. Devices, we can filter. Active devices, total devices, pin them to a dashboard, average use per device, calls, whiteboarding. What are they using the devices for? By type. So down at the bottom, again, details, individuals, select them. Yes, I'm in read-only mode. It'll take me to that device. Oh, I wanted to show you this. I'm glad it did this because earlier I forgot to do this. When we were on devices, this is one of the neatest things. There's a lot there, obviously, but when you click on a device, just let me pull this up here. When you click on a device and you select it, in this case, it's just, let's go, take a look at this. Configuration, 435 options. 435 options that you can configure on this device. Now, they may not all apply, but take a look. Take a look. I thought this was just wow. Take a look at what you can do on the devices. I mean, just these are all, maybe not every one will be applicable for this device, but policy that you have in one place, in one spot, not for just your site or a few users, but for the entire global enterprise. It's all part of Webex Control Hub. Okay, so this is just staggering. 435 different components that are listed here for this device that you can set. Again, not everyone will be applicable, but it's in one spot. Okay, let's go back up to analytics. So we were back up on analytics. I was clicking on devices and I was showing you some information on devices that are currently engaged with Webex Control Hub, types of devices that are being utilized, workspaces. Again, workspaces are areas where users, team members have access to these integrated features. We can take a look at our workspaces. Shows you there's a whole list of them. You can search. You can search city, different cities, country, name, type. Customer experience, if you're interested in contact center with WebEx, that's a whole discussion on its own. That's something we're doing a lot of training on, contact center. But again, it's about the customer experience, the call queues, the calls coming in, all of that information is here. Sustainability, if you're interested in knowing how much energy, carbon, all of that information is here in one spot. And then this is what I think is pretty awesome. Now you have information on Slido and Video Mesh if you're using it. But Connected UC, this is on-site Cisco Unified Communications Manager. This is old school version 12.5 or something that you've added to Webex Control Hub, and now you can use analytics to pull information about the overall service experience from it. Standard Call Manager, just sitting on-site, on-prem right now, the one you log into, that can connect here to be connected to Control Hub. If you have multiple clusters, you can select them. You can also choose the days, right? I go, oh, what time period do you want? Well, let's go back a certain amount of days. Now, I can't say for certain. I don't know every detail, but I did hear, depending on license level that you purchase, so there's different levels of licenses, depending on that, like you might be able to go back up to a year. So just keep in mind that it's one of those little, your experience may vary, but you can go back. You have a historical view, absolutely. And it may be dependent on the license that you have. But you can connect Call Manager here, take a look at your volume, your quality, any issues that you may or may not be having. That's something that we might want to be aware of. We call counts, duration. So traffic analysis from different locations, trunk usage. And then what's cool is you can click on any of these. Remember, I gave you that tip. Click on it. You want more information? Click on it. Drill down deeper. Oh, what kind of trunks are we using? We've got different trunks, different protocols. This one's using SIP instead of H.323. It's all SIP, which probably should be. And so, again, we get some information on, we can filter. You can filter based on some of these numbers. Filter. Oh, I want to take a look at media type or phone numbers or user IDs, or take a look at what users have made what calls over what trunks. Can be very useful. Absolutely. And then we are just on this. So if we go back, takes us out of the chart. Click on any of these to drill down deeper. So these are on-prem as well. Not only do you have WebEx devices, but some of your on-prem. Per device pool. different device pools, different versions. So you can take a look at what's occurring in certain device pools, codecs. Shows you failing. This is all on-prem. And then last but not least, in the analytics, Jabber. Jabber devices, users, total, calls placed with Jabber, audio calls, video calls by minute. So it gives you an overview of what's going on with all of those. Now, now that we've seen that, the last thing that I want to delve into is I've shown you how to create custom dashboards, but now I want to also show you alerts. Now let's go back up to alerts. So we can create our own alerts. We can create our own alerts, create a rule. So you can create alerts based on meetings, calling, devices. So you can create your own alerts. Severity level, and then what do you want to be alerted? What types of applications do you want to be alerted? Outages, maintenance on devices, how do you want to be alerted? So we can create rules to be alerted. We can create reports based on what information we want. So this isn't, this is just, I wanted to show you, introduce to you, go over with you the analytical capabilities. Not only does it think about it from an administrative standpoint, being able to add your endpoints, devices, users, groups, policy from one place. Yeah, there's a lot going on there, obviously. We wanted to take some time to walk you through the analytical capabilities that this has. To get you the information to help make your day-to-day operations smoother, easier, right? You get access to information. You're not in the dark. Now, as I mentioned, there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of things going on within Webex Control Hub. And Sunset is offering application training right now in Webex Calling. There are 2 sessions that I want to tell you about. We have Webex Calling with the Webex app. It's a 60-minute training session. And we also have a 90-minute Webex Calling admin using Control Hub, which is another training session that we're currently offering. Now, in these training sessions, you're going to go over and learn how to do what we see here, right? Getting access, making calls, getting devices, updating your name, setting statuses, making conferencing calls, setting do not disturb call forwarding, remote office, starting a meeting, joining a meeting, everything you need to know to work with Webex applications as an end user. And for more information on either the Webex Calling with Webex app 60-minute or the Webex Calling admin using Control Hub 90-minute session, please email Nate and he'll be happy to get you taken care of. And I also think that Carol's going to send that in the chat window. You have Nate's email address here. It's in the chat window. Thank you, Carol. And that is going to bring an end to my portion. I know your time is very valuable. And again, we could talk. We could go over this for probably the rest of the week, for sure. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot to unpack. But that's not our intention. That's not our goal. We wanted to take some time, give you an overview of analytics, show you Control Hub, show you just the overview, an overview of what it is that Webex Control Hub does. Take a look at analytics, and then just to give you a taste. Now, there's a great question regarding the recording. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know when that'll be added, but look at, where would that be? Our LinkedIn site or YouTube site, and that will be available. Yeah, we showed you how to monitor in real time, right? How to use reports, how to customize your dashboards, take a look at troubleshooting, alerts, and also that this is not limited to just WebEx devices, but also UC connected. Your on-prem standard unified communications manager can participate in this as well. So on behalf of all of us here at Sunset Learning, I want to thank you for being with us today. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for helping us help you be your technical best, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you. Thank all of you.
If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification icon to get notified whenever we upload new content.